Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studio. Welcome to Parents' Night Out with no new friends. Real, raw hilarity. It's your night out without the kids. So kick back, relax, and get ready to let loose with us. This is Parents' Night Out with no new friends.
What is up, YouTube? Dolly Parton's husband of 60 years is dead. How are you guys all doing tonight? I don't know. I don't know his name.
What a way to open the episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Our daughter said, well, Jolene didn't steal her man. God did.
My God.
Be one of the hosts of the
Completely
show?
unprovoked. That was beautiful. And Lewis is going to make it a TikTok now.
Let me see. His name was Carl something. Oh, Carl Jr., the guy who had the burger chain.
He made the burger chain?
Carl
R.I.P.
Dean. Carl Dean.
Remy, what do you need me to request a fifth off for?
His birthday. Yes, Dolly is single now.
Dolly Parton grabbed my brother's ass.
Wow.
He should have sued.
You know who
Front
could
of
have
the
been
band.
single? Gene Hackman's wife.
Man, what's going on there?
Dude, that is insane.
Yeah. Who wants
If we
to
have
kill
time to
Gene
talk
Hackman?
about it, we'll talk about it because that is I'm obsessed with this story.
Yeah. Starting to turn into a mummy? I don't even know what that means.
Well, they were dead for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you turning into getting mummified. Doesn't that mean like someone removed all your organs and started wrapping you with toilet paper? Like, what?
Stop with the good jokes.
I'm I'm honestly asking. Like, what does that entail?
I don't know. All right, so we've got my Mexico trip.
Wait, Remy made a good joke. It was Carl Dean, the breakfast guy. Oh wait, that's Jimmy Dean.
Then we'll do Nick's Move I'm Gay. Darren, you had something, right?
Yeah, it's about Abby.
Okay. Chris, do you have anything?
I do not. No, just
Okay.
Just here for the ride.
Okay.
We have a
and
lot
then
to
we
talk
could do a
about
little
tonight, so.
Gene Hackman WWE update.
Perfect.
I figured you'd like that. Yeah. All right. You guys ready to do this?
Do it.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. There's so many great ways to connect with us. Just check out our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise. Join our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon. For as low as $2 a month, you can have access to all sorts of exclusive content, early release on the episodes, cutting room floor, and be eligible for all sorts of giveaways that sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Right now, we are recording live or streaming live on the YouTube. We do that every Monday night at about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see this entire episode raw and uncut before Alex takes it off the chopping block, or I don't know, whatever he does. He edits it. Also follow us on the TikTok at theparks.nonewfriends, where we go live from the parks here and there. My name is Scott. I'm the host. With me, as always, my amazing cast of characters, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
Glad you're not dead, Scott.
The Jewish American princess, Sarah.
Hello.
Our emotional support gay, Nick.
Hola, senor.
The wise man, Darren.com.
When I make my heel turn, it'll be on our producer, Alex, and he knows why.
And our producer, Alex. Wait, why?
Because last week in his... Sorry.
If you want to know what they're laughing at, you have to watch on YouTube because Chris is putting up all sorts of fun graphics. You know what's funny is that body type is not that far off.
I typed in obese man in a bathing suit, but that was the only one on the angle.
It looks a lot better than that picture did on... You are very pasty.
I actually, Nick, I had to make his face tanner on Photoshop to match the body in this picture.
I know a really good tanning solution, and you don't have to go in the sun. So we'll take care of that, Scott.
Sarah, believe it or not, I was in Mexico for 9 days and I came back whiter than I left.
Yeah, that picture was. I thought you were a ghost.
Is that the one that I took with the owners?
Yeah, you were like you post a picture of the owners. You're in a swimsuit. Your wife is gorgeous.
That's not my wife. That's the owner's wife.
Well, whoever she was gorgeous. and you were shirtless,
I
and
know.
it was not great.
And I was very drunk.
Yeah,
Very drunk.
You were so white, you look like an upside down snow cone.
Let me tell you, and we'll go all out of order because the storytelling doesn't matter what order. That was the day before Rachel's birthday. I decide I'm going to hit the mudslides hard. Every day I kind of changed up my drink of choice, and I was going hard on the mudslides. And I believe that was, so her birthday was on Thursday. So I gotta remember what I was doing Wednesday, because I did a lot of catching up on shows. Like I was watching Love Is Blind on Netflix and keeping up with Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, because I would go out to the pool and sit at the bar, because there's a swim up bar which was right in front of our room, and she would lay out and I would sit in the shade and watch all these Netflix shows. Anyway, I'm pounding mudslides.
Is that a gay term too, Nick, by the way? Like, that sounds like a gay term.
I was about to
he's
just be like,
talking about. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't even know who drinks mudslides. Can we talk about that?
I don't even know what a mudslide is.
Like
Really
that
heavy drink,
is
right?
that is like the 1990s straight white female drink.
It's like a stomach ache.
Yeah, exactly. On top of it, how much diabetes do you have now? Do you have all the types?
Nick, listen, if I listed the drinks that I had over the week, Miami Vice, that was my drink of choice on night and day one. Electric Lemonade, which was another frozen drink. Dirty Bananas.
You're at a 5-star resort and you're drinking Carnival cruise drinks. Like, make this make sense.
Well, so my problem is, and I told this story the last time I went to Mexico. On night one, I go heavy on the margaritas, like to the point when I was vomiting the last trip that we took to Mexico, because I drank so many margaritas, no salt. And so I was determined not to get super drunk on night one, because it throws off my entire sleep schedule for the entire time that we're there. So I switched from margaritas to, I had one margarita and then I went to the Miami Vice. I'm like, it's a frozen drink. You're going to get more full before you can get drunk. That is not true, because at this resort, they were pouring doubles into each half of the drink. So like the strawberry daiquiri got a double, the pina colada got a double, and then they mixed it together.
Tell your friends about us.
Yeah, right. Literally drinking like 4 to 6 ounces of liquor in this drink, and I'm pounding those because I'm not noticing it. And in the room, there's this really cool mirror with like these mirror slats. It looked amazing when we were sober. When I was drunk, it was so disorienting. It was like looking at one of those funhouse mirrors, and I'm standing there staring at it because we're about to go to dinner. I'm like, yeah, let's go to dinner. And I'm standing there staring at it, trying to pound back water. And I don't know what it was, Nick. It was like I was determined to overcome the dizziness. So I kept staring at this mirror verse. And that was it. I was asleep by 6:30.
I was watching your room tour, so I know exactly what mirror you're talking about now. And I'd probably be trippy if I was stoned too.
It made me dizzy on TikTok Live.
If you want to see our room tour, it's all over our Facebook Parents Night Out podcast or whatever it is on Facebook.
Click the link below.
Click the link below. I don't know what that means. So, there's a lot of uncertainty with travel right now. The plane's not landing right side up. But also, Mexico is a little weird right now. They don't like us because of decisions that we've made and all that. And there's, there's rumors of sex trafficking. Let me tell you, when I got off the plane, I made myself a sign. I said, I am here for the sex trafficking. You can have me. Because I figured at least I would get laid for the next 9 days.
Oh my God.
How'd that work out?
Well, okay. The over-under on how many adult nights
Earmuffs, Darren.
3.5. Okay, that was the Vegas over and under. So around the room, except for Darren, who's taking the over? Who's taking the under? Nick, we'll start with you.
3.5. I don't know. She seems like you guys seem really close that week. I'm gonna go over.
Okay, Sarah,
Under.
Chris,
I think 3 is a very safe number.
Darren, you want in on this?
Under.
Under chat, Remy says under wa.
He's been drinking the tequila.
So here's the unfortunate thing. It would have been over, except we go to check in for our flight on the way home the night before, and we see that JetBlue has changed our flight time from 1:30 in the afternoon to 11:15 in the morning. So they've made our flight 2.5 hours earlier than
You
it
said
was
in the
supposed to be.
afternoon and in the morning, like it was like a 12-hour difference. It was like a 2 hours. 2 hours.
Well, the problem, Chris, is we're realizing this at 11 o'clock at night. So we've got transportation scheduled to pick us up at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, well, that sucks.
Yeah, so if they pick us up at 10:30 in the morning, guess what? We're not arriving to the airport until 11. Flight's at 11:15. Like, that's going to be very difficult to make that flight. And again, it's 11 o'clock at night, so nobody that can help us is awake or at offices. I text Nick, and I'm like, I'm having a...
Who could help you at that time?
Well, Nick, our travel agent, who we should have booked through, and I told Rachel the next day. Once we were laughing about it at the airport, I said, our big takeaway from this: we never book a vacation ourselves again. We only use Sandpiper Vacations, because Nick would have known the second that flight was changed, and he would have already had our transportation arranged for us, and he would have called us and said, hey, your flight's been changed, but this is what we've done for you. And
I already would have had flowers laid out in your bedroom so that you can make it to that. So you to make it to the 4th.
Exactly. So that was a scramble, and we ended up having to take an Uber in Mexico.
Oh, God forbid.
Well, okay.
I know. I'm like, how did those work out? I'm anxious to hear this.
Well, okay. So we're in this. It's a very, very secure resort. Okay, you have to go through 9 different security checkpoints to get to our resort. So I'm like texting this driver Hector through Uber, and I'm like, okay, just be patient. You're gonna have to go through several gates. I'm so sorry about this. And I'm like looking at his profile because is he a member of the cartel? Is he gonna try to sell me fentanyl? I don't know. So he doesn't speak any English. So I'm like, well, this is going to be a disaster. Like, I don't know how to do this. And like, not that Wi-Fi is fantastic on the streets of Mexico, so I don't even know if Google Translate's going to work. So like, I'm quickly doing about 265 days of Duolingo real quick, just so that I can catch up with Sarah and I can communicate with this guy.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah, I almost called you just so you can communicate with this guy for me on my behalf. Luckily,
next time. But
next time.
Nick would have you set up with a translator.
He probably would.
They would have been in the car with you. They would have been in your bedroom already teaching you Spanish at the same time.
Scott, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've taken a lot of Ubers, and 90% of them don't speak English.
I
don't know.
Not just in Jersey.
You're not saying anything that's like obscure to me.
I was gonna say, do you not remember the Russian guy from California?
Oh yeah. No English, just Russian.
No English, just Russian.
Yeah. You're right, Chris. But I guess I was thinking, like, okay, I'm in a foreign country, so this is a little bit different. Like, if I'm in Idaho, like, okay, no big deal. Like, I'm in Idaho.
Right, yeah.
I could just,
directions on the Uber app were probably too complex for him to understand, I guess, in your opinion, since he didn't speak English.
He understood just fine. I did. So when we get picked up from the airport, I didn't even have this written down. We get picked up by our transportation that's been arranged through the hotel. It's the same company that we always use. And, this trip to Mexico is a little bit different just because the last time we went to Mexico, we had a different president. And so we felt safer because there was not mass deportations going on. And our national anthem wasn't getting booed at professional sporting events. So I immediately start talking to this driver, and I'm asking him about himself, and I'm like, we're from the United States, but we're from the good part of the United States. And he says, oh, California? And I said, no, Florida. He goes, no, you're from the bad part of the United States. And I'm like, no, the Central Florida, the blue part. And he goes, oh, okay. And he's talking about his president. I'm like, oh, yeah, your president's great. Our president, muy stupido. And I'm like trying to talk to him in Spanish because just to make him feel more comfortable, like I was one of his people, you know. And it's really funny. The more tequila I drank, the more fluent I was in Spanish. I didn't understand a damn word, but man, did I speak it well.
Ryan just said in chat, you felt safer last time because all the bad Mexicans were still here.
That's funny. So, you know, the airport was funny. I went to use the restroom and I guess they don't believe in out of order signs. They just put a wet floor sign on the urinal.
It's cheaper.
Much cheaper. Nick, you would have loved this. So, we're walking outside the terminal to find our transportation, and you know, you've traveled to Mexico and different countries. They've got everybody with the signs that they're picking them up. So one transportation, I don't really pay attention to them because I just continue walking because they will try to sell you on anything. They'll try to sell you on a ride. They'll try to sell you into sex slavery, whatever. They'll try to sell you. Well, one sign.
Mexico is a great destination to visit, by the way.
It is fantastic.
Fantastic vacation.
The people are so freaking nice.
It's just that little part of the airport. I know exactly where you're talking about too, because I literally alert my clients in their like email before they go. I'm like, when you get off your plane, you grab your luggage and you run outside. Do not talk to anybody. Do not pass go. You go outside. Correct. Find the sunshine. That's where your driver is going to be. Don't talk to anybody inside.
Correct. I always talk to the bartender right outside the terminal. Yeah, I always hit that up. So this is outside the terminal, and I see someone trying to pick someone up, and it says, Pornhub actor gay. So they must have been filming gay porn in Mexico because her assignment was to pick up the gay Pornhub actor. And I wish I would have noticed it faster to pull out my camera and take a picture of it. I definitely made eye contact with the woman holding the sign because she had to have been mortified all day to be holding this sign for a Pornhub actor.
Sounds like she lost a fantasy football league.
But also,
she lost a fantasy football league.
That's a really good punishment,
right?
But also, at what point did you also think maybe I should go with her and see where this leads to?
Listen, if I was going to be sold into sex trafficking, I wanted to be the giver, not the receiver.
You know, they're filming in some amazing location, though.
You're probably right. Well, speaking of the gays, so on Friday. On Friday was a weird day because it was very overcast, very windy, a little bit rainy. So like they enacted like bad weather entertainment. Like everything was different around the resort. Did
they just play this podcast on repeat?
They had Texas Hold'em poker, which is always a highlight for me when I get to play this on my vacation. But that is when I decide I'm going to go Facebook Live. And this was brilliant because this resort just opened. Like we were there 10 days after it opened. So everybody is very curious about this resort. There's a whole Excellence Club, Coral Playa Mujeres Facebook group. So everybody's, texting updates and questions and all that. So I'm like, what a great opportunity to make a couple videos do very well. So I go live. I do a room tour. I do a resort tour. And like I'm answering all these questions and all that. You would think that I would have been obsessed with this the rest of the time. Like I got to go live every day. Because this is massive. I could care less. I got the content that I wanted. I got the views that I wanted. I was ready to move on with my week. Rachel was obsessed. She was on the Facebook answering questions.
I noticed because I'm in that Facebook group too, because I joined it for travel agency stuff, and just seeing the comments in there, people are like, can you get a picture of this? Can you get a video of that? Like people are requesting the most random ass things. And this is what I do for a living too.
Right. Nick, Rachel spent 9 days running around this resort taking pictures and videos of things that people asked her to take videos and pictures of. And I'm like, did they donate a donut or a rose or any coins to make the, like, we need some Facebook stars if we're going to be running around taking pictures of stuff. But she was definitely like all in it to inform, whereas I was all about making content.
Right. But you make a good team though.
We do. I said, listen, you answer all the questions. I don't give a shit about the answers. Like, I don't care. I just wanted to film a video, entertain some people, maybe pick up some followers, which we did. We gained like 250 followers on Facebook, which is like our lowest platform, which is surprising. But so we go to play Texas Hold'em, and this is where the week gets really interesting. First day. First of all, there's these two guys I'm playing with. It's like 5 or 6 people. Well, there's these 2 guys. They're from Canada. I never saw their wives the entire week. They talked about their wives, but they were not there with their wives. These guys, I think, were on like a self-discovery boys trip.
It was
Yeah.
the gay Pornhub actor.
Maybe it was.
And his double.
At one point, and Chris, this is when Rachel said that I'm not allowed to hang out with you anymore, because at one point after the game, they come up to me like, hey, would you be interested in doing a buy-in Texas Hold'em instead of just, for fun? I'm like, oh, absolutely. And I'm like, what are you thinking, like $20 buy-in? And I look at Rachel and she's like, yeah, that's fine. And they're like, no, we're thinking like 100. And I was like, okay, I'm in. and Rachel's like, look, we brought a lot of cash, but I don't know if we brought like enough for you to put $100 on poker. And I said, I'll win it. I'll win it back. It's fine. Like, these 2 guys were the best players at the table, and all they care about is taking each other out. So all I have to do is ride that storm, and I'm good. And
Wait, were you? They don't have a casino. Were you playing like?
No, they just
on the beach
was,
or something on a towel. Like, where was this?
They one of their recreation
They went back to their
employees.
room.
It was in a back room. It was a smoky room.
And they said, this is Texas. Now hold them.
They set up a table, and it was for fun.
Oh.
But we were like, well, we can do a buy-in. They just can't. The host can't play. And I'm like, okay, great. So Rachel's like, no, you can't do $100 because we brought cash, but that's not what the cash is for. And I said, okay, I get it. And I'm like, wait a second. I was like, do you guys take Venmo or Cash App? And they're like, absolutely. I'm like, let's put me down for $250.
So how much did you win?
Now you
And
see
how
why they
did that
left
work
their
out?
wives.
We never played because
you just kept your money?
Oh.
Yeah, I kept my money.
But
thought you
they
Venmoed
played with each other.
They did. I want to know what their sleeping arrangements were like, because this is not a resort where you have 2 queen-size beds. I mean, you may have 2 queens in a room, but they're not beds.
I see it. It's there.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
So I'm very. These 2 guys were so much fun to people watch. One night we did one of those silent, dance party things. Chris talked about it on one of his vacations where he dropped a glass on the dance floor to run
shut
out to
down.
Whitney or something. This is the highlight of like every vacation that we take. This silent.
I
dance
love
party.
silent dance parties now.
Yeah, they are amazing.
cool.
And I got some really good video of people singing Journey and all that. Well, at one point, I decide I'm going to take my headphones off because it's just such great people watching. And one of these Canadian guys, he's running around just singing very loud a song with a lot of N-words in it. And I'm like, oh my God. So like, I called him out on it earlier. I said, man, I was like, weren't you glad that, nobody could hear you drop those N-words? He goes, it's fine. I'm not white. And I'm like, oh. He's like, I'm Canadian. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's a new one.
That's
Yeah.
worse than no. It's all right. My best friend's black.
Exactly.
Scott's like, is there such thing as dual citizenship? Could I?
So on one of these Facebook Lives, it was the weather. It was the day of the weather, and everybody's asking, like, what's everybody doing today? And I'm like, well, they're probably in their rooms where they should be with their spouse. And someone's like, oh, watching channel 49 or 50, because that's the porn channels. It's Hustler, Hustler Mexicana.
But is it in English?
No, definitely Spanish.
Do you read the subtitles? I feel that would be pretty interesting.
I just muted it. Who cares? You don't need the words.
Well, when you mute it, the subtitles don't go away. That's their
no.
doesn't blind you.
No, I just watched it and I had Riverside with me, so just gave myself a little mood music. Watched channel 49 and 50.
while Rachel's out running around taking pictures of the resort.
Making it $0.
Exactly. I didn't specify that the over-under was just with myself. So as I'm doing this, I'm like, they could be in the room playing chess. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, chess. So chess is the new Costco because that went on for a while. Yeah.
Oh, that's like when over the age of 50, it's chess. It's way less cool.
So the day that I met the owners, that was the day of the mudslides. So it was so bad. That was the one day that Rachel's like, you need to take a nap. And I was like, okay, that sounds fine. I forget what we were doing for dinner that night, but we were excited about dinner that night. So I take a nap, and like a good 3-hour nap, but I woke up just as drunk as I was when I went to bed. Not hungover, drunk, ready to party, ready for the night. And most nights, like by 7, 8 o'clock, I was ready for bed. No, I'm ready to party. So she's like, okay, let's go to the bar. Why don't you get a Diet Coke? And I'm like, that sounds like a great idea. Like, I haven't had many Diet Cokes. So I'm just going to get a Diet Coke. So I go up, and I've never had one of these in my entire life. But I go up to the bartender, and I'm like, I will have an espresso martini. I saw everybody drinking espresso martinis. I was like, they've got to be pretty good, I guess. Everybody keeps ordering them.
Are you a white 20-year-old girl? Like, I guess that's the mudslide of now. Like, why are you having an espresso martini?
It's for the gays and for the days and the straight girls.
Yeah. So not only did I have an
Espresso.
How many did you have?
An espresso martini. I had all the espresso martinis. They start bringing them out to me 2 at a time because I'm downing these things so fucking fast because it's coffee.
Dangerous.
And you haven't been to sleep yet?
Well, no, I took the nap. I took the 3-hour nap. And
No,
so
like since your vacation, you haven't slept yet. I'm assuming.
Right, yeah. No, the next morning I was driving the struggle bus. It was Rachel's birthday, and I felt so sick all day. I felt so terrible. I was like, well, this is what I get. But
This is what you get. Like, oh, woe is me. It's what Rachel gets. It was her birthday. Oh, this is what I get. No, it's Rachel.
No, she was too busy being like, all right, click, click, click.
But it was really cool. A brand new resort. The owners were there the entire time. They were super nice. Fun fact, they also own Medieval Times.
That's so random. I think that's a money laundering thing.
Oh, I told Rachel, I said, that's their laundering business is Medieval Times.
100%. 100%.
Because that thing doesn't make money. But they were all so nice. We got to do this really cool speakeasy. It opened the 3rd day that we were there. So it hadn't been open. So the day that we got to go, we were there for the first sitting, and it was by invite only. So like the GM of the hotel invited us. It's not because my wife is like, oh, it's probably because we've been great at creating content for them and we're an influencer now and all that. And I'm like, we're not we're not influencers. I'm like,
you got her hooked.
I know. I'm like, we're staying in the goddamn Imperial Suite. That's why we got invited. It's not because we're creating content for them. But that was super cool. Super cool. Go ahead, Nick.
Well, I was gonna speak. So you're talking about hospitality and stuff, and this is why I loved like you going there and everything, because I've been on these like first time type trips where I've been to new resorts or new cruise lines and stuff too. But there's a topic I wanted to talk about tonight. Can I interrupt you?
Absolutely.
Great transition, Scott.
Move. I'm gay.
Here it comes, so fierce, so fab. Strutting in with shimmering sass. Emotional support, gay in the ring. Gonna win with flair and bling. Sparkles flying high. Rainbow in the sky. He's the fierce one we adore. Keeping down every door. Feather and leather gloves. He's got power.
All right, so I created wrestling walk-in music.
My God, that's gain.
for everyone, and you're gonna hear them.
I feel like I need like an outfit for that now too.
I know, right? You're gonna hear them here and there. I don't know when they're gonna play, but you will only ever be able to hear the entire version of these songs by becoming a Patreon member.
Or if you do acid, probably.
So I have one for Nick. I have one for Sarah. I've got one for Darren, for Chris. I have one for Game Master Ryan, and I have one for Miranda whenever she comes on here.
Can't wait to hear
And then
those.
whenever she's on the podcast.
That's a separate song.
Ryan said this is a gay Power Rangers theme song. Pretty sure the Power Rangers were gay.
Yeah,
so.
it's just Power Rangers. These songs.
I don't think any of the gay part there.
You don't have to add the word gay.
Lewis is literally watching Power Rangers. Right next to me.
Yeah. Hopefully he's got those gray sweats out.
He's got new red ones. I'm sorry.
Ooh. Ooh. So move I'm gay. You're talking about the hospitality industry and restaurants and stuff, and there's a topic that came up this morning that I need to discuss with all of you.
Okay.
So, Sarah, you work in a restaurant, right?
I do.
Have you ever gotten a customer leave something on their receipt instead of a tip?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like a note or
absolutely.
something? Has
Yep.
it ever been like offensive, or is it just something cute or a cat? Like,
Your tip is put Jesus number one.
that's a good one.
No, but I work in a job that has an automatic 18% gratuity.
Oh.
So
so
we
you
get a lot of
those.
this circle and then additional gratuity. No. That kind of thing.
It's like hardcore now.
Well, industry standard is 20, so screw you.
Yeah, so there's a lady that went viral here in Columbus today that I, unfortunately, not
for
a
the sex?
virus, not for the sex, because of something that she did at a restaurant here. And unfortunately, it tracked down to me, so I'll get to that part later. So she went to this Mexican restaurant, and on the receipt, this picture's blown up all over social media now, this receipt. The charge was $87.84 for her food or whatever she had. For the tip, she wrote 0.
Oh.
But she wrote the letters 0. After the 0, she wrote, "You suck."
Oh.
So next line is the total. So she repeated the total amount, and then she wrote the total amount, which I'm really confused about too. So let's break this down. She wrote the total amount. The number is $87.84, but she also wrote $87.84 as if she's writing a check.
With the 84 over 100.
Yeah. Like, Chris, do you even know what a check is?
Like a verified check mark on X.
Yes.
Yeah,
that.
then yes, the blue checks, yes.
So she wrote that out. So for the signature, she wrote, "I hope Trump deports you."
Oh.
With 3 exclamation points.
Oh my god.
So here's where shit got stupid with her. She's not the brightest crayon. So she scratched out her name on this receipt, scratched out her last four of the credit card number, but what she didn't scratch out was the fact that she left the extra copy of the receipt right next to it. So here's where an employee from the restaurant came in, and they took a picture of her receipt that she signed next to the other receipt that has her name on it. So Facebook decided, let's blow it up, and they found her name, found her job, started tagging her job, which was she was in real estate at Century 21.
Fuck around and find out.
Exactly. So on top of that, somebody also apparently looked through her Facebook and social media and realized that she was part of the youth sports league that I'm a part of.
Oh, yeah?
No.
So
Are you a little old for that?
I'm not in the youth sports league. I was the cheer coach.
Makes way more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining.
So I'm not in. Yeah, just to clarify. So I was the cheer coach for the sports league. I'm also the social media manager for the sports league. There's a screenshot going around of a business card that she is the fundraising manager for the sports league.
Oh no.
So I'm getting up at 7 a.m. to get my child ready for school, putting out fires about this lady because people are messaging me now saying like she needs to be kicked off this league. She shouldn't be around kids and stuff like that. She hasn't been on the league in 4 years since 2021. So my job today has been putting out fires for whatever. Her last name's Lovin. Let's go with that.
Oh my
Stephanie
God.
Lovin. So
First
putting
name
out-
Mick. Mick
passing
Levin.
out. I've been putting out fires today of this crazy lady that's left this message.
Why are you putting out fires for her?
Basically, because people are threatening the league saying that we need to fire her and get rid of her, and I'm having to tell people that she's not a part of our league. And
Just
this
tell them,
informa-
yes, we fired her. She's gone.
This information was found. Like people are just sharing this card that I think they scrolled back through Facebook 4 years.
Gotcha. But it'll give people much more satisfaction if you say, yes, we fired the bitch.
Yeah.
Then it'll be like, yeah, we got her. The internet wins.
So it's, watching something go viral like that has been insane. The fact that Century 21 put out a statement across the board that there's been different stories I've seen. One said that she was fired. Another one said that she actually wasn't registered or employed with them anymore, but she's still listed as them.
I love when the internet calls people out. Like
It's-
when people do stupid shit. I love when the internet like tracks them down.
Like this lady, they had her address like posted going viral.
Good.
I have friends reaching out to me from Wisconsin. They're like, what is going on in Ohio today? I was like,
they're
I'm
eating
a
the
part of
dogs.
this.
They're eating the cats.
Yeah, so now I'm getting invested because there's a lady saying that she actually was handed this business card 2 weeks ago that this lady's on the sports league for fundraising. So I'm, in my mind, now I'm starting a theory. I'm like, maybe she's like money laundering or something, like trying
Through
to
the
take money
sports
from people
league.
still and saying that she's with the sports league. So I'll report back when I find out.
You know what would be the
Please
craziest
do.
twist of all this? Is if the waitress or waiter was an illegal immigrant who committed a crime right before and she witnessed it and was a whistleblower instead.
Oh.
But also,
Probably
why-
not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
But also, like, none of this makes sense because I don't know if you understand. Mexican restaurants are usually employed by Mexican people or Hispanic. Like, you can't go to a Mexican restaurant anymore if they're all deported.
Right.
How's that work?
Right.
Make it make sense.
Yeah,
Hello?
people aren't thinking the long game. They're thinking the short term.
Yeah.
I
She
can
fucked
make
around
your
and found out.
tacos. You want your fajitas?
So now there's like memes going around with pictures of her with like tacos and like a big sombrero and stuff. So I'm kind of loving it. And the fact that it's happening in my backyard too. But yeah.
Sarah, is Lewis still with us? I
He
worry about
is-
him. Okay.
He is still with us. Yeah, I worry about him too.
Does he ever whisper in your ear?
Well, yes.
Okay. So I didn't know if this was a Mexican thing or if I don't know, but when we were in Mexico, we went to get a couples massage.
He's Puerto
And-
Rican, by the way.
Oh,
It's different.
Okay,
Puerto Rico is part of the
just-
United
just
States.
So you know, he's a different kind of. It's fine. Go ahead, Scott.
gotcha. My bad. So I'm getting a massage, right? And the lady starts whispering in my ear.
Okay, well, he
like-
doesn't whisper in my ear like that.
Yeah,
That's a little different, Scott. I think you were getting into that sex trafficking thing that you wanted to be a part of.
it was just really weird, and I'm like, dude, my wife's like right next to us. Like, if we were gonna go there, we could have had separate massages, and then we could have, arranged that. But it was just weird. Like, just relax and let everything go, and but weird. I'm like, don't talk to me. Like, I don't want to be talked to when I'm taking a piss at the urinal, and I don't want to be talked to when I'm being given a massage. Like, I don't need this. Just super weird.
Was I the only one that saw the shock on Scott's face when he found out there was more than one Hispanic and Latino race? He's like, wait, Scott's like, wait, there's
Wait.
another Mexico? Wait a second.
Anyway, Darren, you had something you wanted to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I had an interesting conversation with your daughter,
Michaela?
Abby.
Oh yeah, can you
No,
update
Abby.
us? Because Scott wasn't here last week. You babysat last week.
Yeah, she lived. Surprise!
Hey.
Yeah,
We haven't
covered,
seen any
popular-
evidence, but
Yeah. The jury's still out. If
which,
she's
by the
still
way,
alive.
by the way, I do want to touch on the fact that Casey Anthony is now on TikTok. That just reminded me. So just full.
She
I'm
is?
sorry, what?
Yeah, no,
I
we're gonna
saw
put a pin.
that
In, we're gonna put a
today.
pin in it. We're gonna put a pin in it, and we're gonna have to have Nick disavow. But again, we have to put a pin in it. Go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, just like Weekend and Birdies with Abby. She's got her sunglasses on. I've got like a string attached. She's like giving a thumbs up. No, but I had an interesting conversation with her. I had a very different relationship with my other sister, Michaela. Her and I didn't live together. She decided to live with our mom, and then I decided to live with my dad. I made the wrong decision.
Tell us how you really
Pause for
feel.
laughter. Yeah,
Wow.
hold for laughter. But Abby was like, we were just chatting after she got off of school, and she was like, "Yeah, there's a boy," and she's like talking to me about this boy, and like
Wait.
opening up. Yeah, there's a boy.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck.
I've changed my stance on the Second Amendment.
I'm like right there with you. But like she was just really like she was opening up about it, and it was like a weird feeling for me to be able to like her talking about having a crush on a boy and wanting to like hang out with this boy, and she was like, "Yeah, I've had a lot of boyfriends, but I've never kissed them, so they didn't actually count." And I'm like, "Oh my god,
What?
Yeah." She was like, "Yeah, I've had like 4 boyfriends."
What?
Yeah,
She's
Well,
like
they didn't
Taylor
kiss-
Swift.
she is like Taylor
Yeah.
Swift. She actually has a whole journal of just a bunch of song like ideas. But yeah, she just was going on and on about this boy, and it was like, this is such a weird like I have a close relationship with Michaela as well, but not that close. We never got to that point, and just having her open up. Chris, you have a sister. Did you ever like have any conversations with her like that, or like did she ever open up to you? Because like this is something this is unexplored territory for me.
Yes and no. It's more of I was more there to pick up the pieces when the guy would break her heart type thing.
Oh.
Like I had to step in and buy the roses on Valentine's Day when the deadbeat that we couldn't wait got out of her life. But no, she found a guy that's actually good, so now I don't have to do that much anymore. But it wasn't. We didn't have conversations like that much. No.
Darren, you're going to have to keep us updated. I need weekly reports from you.
By us, he means him.
Yeah, because your sister is completely boy crazy. Okay.
I've learned this.
The fact that she knows the starting quarterback for Ole Miss, she's like, that's my bae, Jackson Dart. And I'm
Wait,
like,
what?
she loves the quarterback for Ole Miss, the college.
Old Mitt. Is that like a song?
It's his old lady, the
Old
old Miss.
McDonald.
Old McDonald? Like,
At least she's moved on from the Menendez brothers.
No, she still loves them. She loves them.
Sorry
And-
then.
Chris, you'll like this one. She loves Cooper DeJean.
Oh, great!
Oh
yeah,
my
she's got
God,
good taste.
loves
She's got
Cooper
she's got good
DeJean.
taste.
she's no longer interested in Patrick Mahomes. She's all about Cooper DeJean. Who else does she love? Oh, so we introduced her to wrestling. She just happened to. What were we watching? And she just started watching it with us. And so then I was.
It's like Raw. It was like a Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah. So I was like, well, you know what? Let's start at the men's Royal Rumble. Because that's what got me excited about it, and then we'll kind of work through. Because Chris, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm watching. I watched from last year's WrestleMania, and I'm watching all of the PLEs before this year's WrestleMania.
That's
that
a
way,
great
I can
investment of your time, and I'm not.
It
even
is a
kidding.
great investment of my time. I've also tried to put money on the matches, but someone said, "Oh no, you can't do that. They've already happened." I'm
I'll
just
take the
going to
bets.
gamble with. I'm just going to gamble with Abby at this point.
There you go.
So we're watching Royal Rumble, and oh my God, she loves John Cena. She loves Logan Paul,
She
loves-
she likes the bad boys.
Damian Priest.
And the
And
his nickname is Bisexual Undertaker because he dresses in leather bondage and wears eyeliner.
Why
Yeah.
am I not watching wrestling yet?
I know. And he's Hispanic. He's Puerto Rican.
Nick, you're missing. There's this tag team. I forget their names, but they look like an '80s band. They wear
Pretty
these shirts.
Deadly.
Yeah, Pretty Deadly.
Oh,
Look up Pretty Deadly, the tag team on the internet. Like,
Well, don't look up Pretty Deadly Tag Team. That sounds like a bad idea.
No, it is a Google search. Oh, they look fabulous.
Nick,
They got crop tops.
Yeah, they
Yes.
wrestle in
Yeah.
crop tops. Yeah.
yeah.
They look
Nick-
like those magicians.
Oh, Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only they're alive. Nick, I don't know how you're not into wrestling because constant bulges.
You get a shaft slip every once in a while.
Shaft slipped out every once in a while, just the tip. You're missing this could get you into sports, and I think Sean would like it too because there's like some nerd aspect to it with the storylines, and this could be something that you guys could bond over. It'd be fantastic for you guys.
Well, they
Well,
bond
I
over
just-
other things.
Well, I just found their YouTube videos, and I'm sorry, guys, but I'm done for the night. See you later.
I think your night's just beginning, Nick.
I got homework to do.
They come out and they cut their theme song, their entrance. They
They
come
look-
out. They go, "Yes, boy."
I don't even have the audio on, and just watching them, I'm like, because I see it. they're gay.
They are also working on a musical. Pretty Deadly.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's
the joke.
fantastic.
Hi, Bob.
And this is me just like speculating, but I think they're gonna end up winning the tag team belt for their show. And I think when they win it, they're gonna throw this big whole thing, and they're gonna try to put on Pretty Deadly the musical. I'm
That'd
so
be
excited.
amazing. Representation. I love it.
That'll be Nick's first episode he watches. WWE the musical.
Are you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll wait. Alex, cut this out.
While
waiting
we're
for-
cutting this, Dad, the joke that do you want your tacos, the fajitas, that was awful. Cut it.
I thought it was funny.
No, I hated it. And
We're
I
not
mean, if you want to
cutting
keep
it,
it,
Alex,
keep
don't
it.
cut
And this is why I'm gonna make my heel turn on Alex.
What did I miss? What did he do?
Oh, it was, you'll have to listen to the episode. He like commented, he was like, oh, my work was going to be easy because Scott wasn't here, but have to deal with Miranda's mic not being loud enough and Darren's constant desk taps and hits. Yeah, I got your number, Alex. I got you.
That's funny.
Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but soon. You better watch your back.
Oh,
Also,
I
Sarah,
gotta,
your cat.
I gotta talk about Rachel's birthday present.
Sarah, your cat just being all over the desk got me. I was done.
That's the big one too.
Yeah.
He just tries to get into such a small space. The other one has figured out how to. What did I say?
Nothing. Just thinking of nothing. I can't even.
I feel like now you have to.
Just you're. I can't because it's gonna come across disrespectful, and I don't mean it. Just you're I can't even say it.
It's okay.
I want to because it's funny, but I can't. Just your pussy being on the desk and trying to get into small spaces.
Oh my god.
Just gave me a chuckle. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
See, this is why I couldn't say
Bye.
it.
Welcome back, Nick. I'm leaving.
Alex, there you go. There's some cutting room floor for you. All right, we're coming back. I'm going to ask the question again. You guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
No.
Yeah.
Step inside the ring, it's Ryan in the game. From Carolina streets It's where nobody knows his name. Hosting Jersey, Florida, man, he can't read a book. But don't you judge him by his cover, take a closer look. Homeless in appearance, but he's sharper than a tack. He's quick on his feet, got no burden on his back. With a mic in hand, he'll make you laugh out loud. Game Master Ryan is ready to wow the crowd. Hey, hey, Ryan's here to play. With swagger in each step, lighting up the day. Hey, hey, ain't no need to fear. Game Master in the house, time to cheer.
Every week, Game Master Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It's up to us to determine which one is which. Take it away, Ryan.
Parents Night Out news team, and here's some of the news I found this week. A Bryan Adams concert in Australia was canceled after a fatberg caused sewage to overflow. A fatberg is described as a huge glob of cooking fat, grease, and other waste that's held together by wet wipes and rags and can cause huge water system blockages. Fatberg is also a term being used to describe a man that was floating off the coast of a Mexican resort last week. A new study shows that every hot dog you eat takes 48 minutes off your life. After doing the math, we found that Chris should have died 6 years ago. There's an asteroid that now has a 3.1% chance of coming into contact with Earth in 2032. Just like this asteroid, Scott's wife also has a 3% chance of coming in the next 8 years. In 2023, a former U.S. soldier was discharged for maintaining an OnlyFans account. She had been serving the Army for over a decade and was known for her dedication and performance. I'm sure when Scott looks up this woman, he'll have a dishonorable discharge of his own. In Shelby County, Ohio, police discovered that individuals are using old light bulbs to make makeshift pipes for smoking drugs. Do you know how many children it takes to change a light bulb? Probably more than 4, because Scott's basement is still dark. Anyways, let's get into this week's Florida man versus Jersey man. And for our first story, a chiropractor is arrested after inappropriately touching a patient during a chiropractic session on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
And for our second story, a woman exacts revenge on her boyfriend by vandalizing his car over a $700 debt.
Okay.
I think Ryan missed you.
All right, Nick. So we've got a chiropractic sex worker or $700 debt. What do you think?
I'm gonna go on sex worker for Florida, just based on you.
All right, Darren.
I'm gonna go the vandalism of the car as Florida, sex worker Jersey.
All right, Sarah.
I'm going to agree with Darren. I'm going to go debt, Florida.
Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sex worker, Florida. I think that's where Robert Kraft got caught, and then car, Jersey.
Yeah, I think you're right. Robert Kraft, Florida. Yeah, I'm going to go the chiropractic sex worker, Florida, and the $700 debt, Jersey. All right, let's find out the answers.
So our first story is from New Jersey, where a 68-year-old chiropractor from New Egypt, New Jersey, was charged with criminal sexual contact after allegedly inappropriately touching a patient during a chiropractic exam. I guess this patient ended up getting more than what they bargained for Valentine's Day. I know Miranda got Russell Stover's chocolates. I'm pretty sure Emily got Chris a frozen Stover's lasagna because he eats like Garfield. So that means our second story is from Florida, where an 18-year-old vandalized her ex-boyfriend's car over a $700 debt. She vandalized the car by spray painting messages like devil on it and smashing eggs all over it. But in her haste, she accidentally vandalized the ex-boyfriend's neighbor's car by mistake. You'd think it would be pretty apparent that it's not her boyfriend's car. Unlike Scott, who is not apparent in any type of way. Isn't that right, Darren? Anyways, that's it for me this week. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
So speaking about good parents,
Yes.
we have to talk about the Casey Anthony TikTok.
Yeah, let's do it. I need to follow her immediately.
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
So first of all, Nick, this is almost the equivalent to when David Duke, leader of the KKK, endorsed Trump for president. They asked him to disavow. Nick, we need you to disavow Casey Anthony. She says she's a proponent of the LGBT community. You know what? She she advocates for women's rights, the LGBT community, but not children rights. It's interesting she left that out. But yeah, so she came back to the internet. And
then she decided to jump back on the internet.
And she reminded us that she is what's her daughter? What was her daughter's name? Haley.
Kaylee.
She reminded the internet that her daughter is Kaylee Anthony. Like we forgot, and then just it was an advertisement to follow her on Substack, which I don't really know what that is. I think it's like Google. I think it's like isn't Substack for like workplaces, which I would know nothing about. Steve, can you get on that Substack?
Yeah, Substack is some sort of social media. Is this she only has 1,700 followers?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't follow her.
I wonder why.
Are you on her
Psychopath.
TikTok right now?
Dude, she's hot.
Oh my god. That's fucking gross. Sorry. Oh my god.
Scott doesn't think she did it.
Well, listen, at the time, I would say I used to say I'd bang her. I just wouldn't, introduce her to my kids.
Oh my god.
Maybe just the one.
Say that maybe not there.
So, all right, I will for content for the podcast
For research.
I will follow her.
You're gonna have to follow her on Substack. You're gonna have to make a Substack account.
Make a Substack account. I will follow her, and then I will find out where she grocery shops, and I will follow her there as well.
If I had to for content make a Truth Social account, you're gonna have to for content make a Substack account.
Listen,
it's
I'm
an
down.
even trade.
Listen, if Miranda could be married to a serial killer, I could have a crush on a child killer, right?
No.
Oh man, someone's gonna clip that and take out killer.
And that somebody is you.
Why do you give them ideas?
That was more for me, so I could remember. But yeah, so she's back. We're gonna have to keep updates on that. You know what? I'm strongly thinking about what if we got her on the podcast.
I was thinking the same thing, Chris. Like, I'm sure she's down for public appearances.
Just like, yeah, we just want to talk about like really light conversations, stuff like that. Nothing too heavy. Like, what's Substack?
Yeah. Are you into true crime?
Yeah. Why did you kill your daughter? Just like super light.
Random questions.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
How familiar are you with the whole Casey Anthony case? Because like I know like Sarah and like my dad would know a lot about it because it happened in Florida, but like you and Nick, like I don't know how much.
Yeah.
Not only did it happen in Florida, it happened in Orlando.
So Scott,
Yeah.
Literally right down
I've
the
seen
street
her.
from
I've
me.
met her before.
Right.
So I mean, I do think it's a little. This was a pretty big case. It would almost be like, how familiar are you guys with 9/11? Because that happened in New York.
I would say
Right.
No, that was more. How familiar are you with the OJ case?
No,
That was,
the Casey Anthony thing was all. Nancy Grace was. Nancy Grace, but she put her name on the map with that thing. I hate Nancy Grace. Love what she does, but I hate
the
Nancy
fact that
Grace.
she was an attractive white woman put her name on the
Nancy
map.
Grace is not very attractive.
No, Casey Anthony.
I think the fact that she got away with killing her daughter put her on the map.
Well,
She's from Ohio too. I didn't remember that.
Oh, she vacations to Jersey. What is this? No, I'm kidding. I remember leaving my. To answer your question, Darren, I remember at the advice of who was the lady that I just talked about that I said I didn't like?
Nancy Grace.
Nancy Grace. At the advice of Nancy Grace, I left the lamppost light on for Kaylee Anthony. I don't know. They told us to do that. It was probably big electricity wanting us to do that. It probably was not Nancy Grace. But yeah, no. So I was very, very familiar with it, especially with when that documentary came out with her interviewing, talking about it on Netflix. I watched that. Super interesting.
What?
Oh, I forgot that they did a Netflix documentary.
Yeah, she's talking like she's in it, like she's talking.
Like
about
Casey Anthony is in the documentary.
No, the other
Kaylee.
person.
Nancy Grace.
Nancy Grace is there to clear the air that she had no involvement. Yeah, Casey Anthony is in the thing. It's crazy.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch. Like, I just finished the Gabby Petito documentary. Now I'm gonna have to watch the Casey Anthony documentary.
Yeah, I got to watch the Gabby Petito one. I've been really into true crime lately.
It's heartbreaking.
This has turned into true crime. I'm really into true crime. I started listening to a new podcast called Crime Junkie. And
Yeah, they're like the biggest true crime
Yeah.
podcast out
Yeah.
there.
They're not a new
I don't know
podcast.
if you've heard of it, but it's called Crime Junkie.
Have you heard of the Joe Rogan Experience?
So I started listening to that and would not recommend listening to it before you go to bed. I've had so many nightmares of being murdered in the last few days, more than usual.
What's better, Crime Junkie or the World War II podcast that end up playing?
So I don't know if I've ever talked about that on the podcast or if it was on just Disneyverse, but I go to sleep listening to Remy's Roundtable most of the time. I just like listening to conversation when I go to sleep, and when I forget to put the timer on, I wake up to a British man narrating it's like Hitler. It's like the podcast is the rise of Hitler or something like that. So I wake up to that. And I have dreams about Hitler. Hitler is coming after me. He's in a Volkswagen blasting Kanye West, coming towards me with guns. Yeah. So between there's three scary things that happened to me in the last year that made me wake up terrified. Listening to Crime Junkie Too Close to Bed, the Hitler documentary, and then waking up to 9/11 audio on Remy's Roundtable, which is inserted into the episode. Ranking those, it would be pretty hard to rank 1, 2, and 3. But the Crime Junkie is quickly climbing the ranks. Very descriptive. But yeah, it's a. Why is it so fascinating? I don't know why. I don't know why it's so fascinating.
Because it's a real life murder mystery.
Yeah.
That's why. It's kind of and Sarah, I know you're really into true crime, right?
I am. I do fall asleep to it. No problem. I have had nightmares about Hitler though, so I get that for different reasons. It's actually funny. I've never had a nightmare with the true crime, but I had to do a project on the Holocaust in 4th grade, and I still think about that nightmare.
Oh wow, not a bit.
It was awful.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, I'm obsessed with information that's coming out about this Gene Hackman death. Are you familiar with this at all?
I guess I'm not as up to date on it as you are, so now I'm intrigued.
Okay, so the day after the one chick from Buffy the Vampire Slayer died, I forget her name.
Michelle Trachtenberg.
Who she played a 16-year-old in every movie that she was ever in for like 20 years. Like, I was like, does she ever age? Well, apparently no, because she did, and now she's dead. But so the very next day, Gene Hackman dies. Gene Hackman,
Sent him into cardiac arrest.
Yeah. Major Hollywood actor. He starred as Lex Luthor in the original Superman movies with Christopher Reeve. He was in my favorite movie of all time, Hoosiers. He's been in French Connection, so many movies. Well, so he dies. Not that weird, 95 years old. But then I read that his 65-year-old wife, and one of the dogs were also found dead in the house. Okay, things are getting weird, right, Sarah? This has true crime all over it. Here's where things they get even weirder. Okay, so they've been dead for about 10 days when they've been found. So decomposition has begun and mummification. And I don't know what all that means. I know Chris has some questions. I'll let him ask what the mummification process is. You being a true crime expert, Sarah.
Well, based off of the 6 episodes that I've watched, they found her in a mummified state, which means all of her organs would have been removed and she would have been wrapped in toilet paper.
Right.
Did she have a Halloween bucket next to her? Perhaps this was a You know what? Is this a Halloween Horror Nights ad? Maybe.
Maybe.
It's just a work.
The Hackman experience. So I think Chris, in the context of this, it was just decomposition had begun because they were dead for like over 10 days. So here's the really weird thing. So both Gene Hackman and his wife were found in a position that is consistent with someone just abruptly falling. There was an open pill bottle with pills scattered all around her body.
You don't just take pills and die with them in your hand. Like that's that's
right.
like one of those like crime scene games that you play, and it's
Right.
like that's the obvious. Yeah, that's definitely planted.
Yeah. So they also found like a space heater was on the ground next to her, consistent with if she would have been holding it or went to grab it and then fell. The way that was his cane and sunglasses were just on the ground as though he had fallen. And then the dog was in the bathroom where she was found. There were 2 other dogs on the property running in and out of the house because the door was open
Will they ever think about fucking interviewing them?
that lived, right? They would know. So they've done like gas detection. There's no carbon monoxide. There's no evidence of carbon monoxide poisoning. There's no sign of forced entry. There's no sign of foul play other than there are 2 dead people and a dead dog in the same house that died at approximately the exact same time or around the same time. Sarah, you are the true crime expert. What is happening here?
No, I have no idea. I really don't. That is, now I'm going to be obsessed and I'm going to start looking stuff up.
Sarah, I spent 9 days of my vacation just refreshing Google to see if like we have new information because the toxicology report's not back yet. Nothing's back yet.
I just want to see the mummy.
Wait. The extent of what I knew was that they both died. Didn't know there was a dog involved. I'm sorry, Scott. And that there was that the carbon monoxide came back negative. That was all I knew. So now you just added so many layers to it.
It's so weird.
That is very strange.
Can you
Now-
go
Aliens,
there
same,
and
same
live stream it,
aliens.
please?
Yes, going live. So, Sarah, now that Jimmy Carter, rest in peace, is dead, we need Hackman updates. So if you could follow this story and give us the updates on the investigation, please.
Got it.
Thank you. Hey, Chris,
Scott,
you got any Cliff Notes?
I do. And those are my favorites. And those are my favorites.
And if you want to hear the full versions of these songs, please join our Patreon for as low as $2 a month, and I will have all of the wrestling walk-up songs as I play them over the next couple weeks.
Did I say I was dripping in grime? How does it know my health regimen? It's my skincare regimen.
I think it said dripping and cum.
Oh, okay. Nick, did you enter the details for this? So we started off the podcast with Scott returning from Mexico. Scott, you might as well be Mexican since you came back here and stole my job.
Oh my God.
Upon arriving in Mexico, Scott said he was super interested in sex slavery. I was really confused about this until I realized it's the 2 things he loves the most.
Oh my God.
Scott and Rachel love silent discos. Scott loves them to dance, and Rachel loves them because it makes Scott shut the fuck up. We talked about a woman who left a horrible note on her receipt at a restaurant. Turns out the only tips she gives are to Border Patrol.
Oh.
Oh.
And lastly, we talked about Gene Hackman's death, and although people think there's foul play, the only crime there is all the horrible movies he's made. Those are my cliff notes.
Thank you so much. He was in The Replacements, goddammit. That was a national treasure, that movie.
I have no. I don't think I've ever seen a Gene Hackman movie.
You never saw the original Superman with Christopher Reeve?
No, that's a movie I've never seen. I was dead when that came out.
Hoosiers.
When I was younger, it was one of those movies that was always on TV.
The French Connection.
I put America first.
He was in a movie with Will Smith.
Hey, what's he in the Foreign Affairs? The French Connection, The Mexican. I'm looking at his IMDb page, and I have no. Welcome to Mooseport sounds familiar, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I don't know that one. The Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh, he was in the Royal Tenenbaums?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. It sounds like something on Channel 49.
My parents swear that that's the only movie they've ever walked out of at the theater.
Really?
Yep.
Never seen it. He was in the Replacements, Heartbreakers, and Enemy of the State.
Oh.
Ants.
He was in Ants.
He was in
okay.
Ants.
Perfect.
DreamWorks
That one.
Ants. Yeah.
Enemy of the State. Was that? Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
It was Will Smith.
Oh, he was in Twilight.
I think that's it. He was in the Birdcage, Get Shorty, Crimson Tide.
I thought they found him in his mudroom. Oh, the Birdcage, the movie.
Oh
Sorry.
my God. The Firm, Unforgiven. He's been in a ton of movies.
Yeah, bad ones actually. he definitely made his money.
Yes, he did.
Has to be. It has to be a relative that killed him for the money. I think.
I'm very much looking forward to.
Oh, he
how
was in Young
died.
Frankenstein. That's a big movie.
Yep,
But I don't know if it was a main role.
it was not the main role.
No, I mean a main role. I know he wasn't.
No.
He was
I can't
Blind
believe
Man.
you've never seen the original Superman.
No, I really want to. I just watched like a clip the other day, and by clip I was scrolling through Twitter, and it was a GIF of Superman. I was like, oh, it looks pretty good for like 45.
It was not 1945. Superman came out now. Superman 1 came out in the early 80s. Well,
I don't think so. I think it was
maybe not.
probably
1978.
1977. Okay,
1978 is when the original Superman came
It was
out.
a very late 70s looking movie.
Superman 2 came out in 1980.
Then what? The guy fell off a horse or something, broke his neck, right?
Yes, Christopher Reeves.
Yes.
Not Gene Hackman. He
R.I.P.
Just fell apparently.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
You guys got anything going on with the kids this week?
I've got some.
Go ahead.
No,
You don't have a kid. You go first
No,
since you
yeah.
don't have any kids.
Oh, thank you.
Well, she was
I
like,
have something-
surprise, actually, Dad, we're expecting.
Don't do that.
I have. I have something really cool happening tomorrow that I can't talk about, and that's where I'll leave it.
Oh, I love this.
That's so messed up.
I actually know what
Yeah.
it is.
I think we all know what it is. We just can't talk about it.
If you know what I do for work, you know what it is.
In 9 months, Scott, you're going to be very surprised.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was the long game.
I'm
Yeah.
actually the Pornhub gay.
The ride is for you after all.
No, he doesn't have a kid, but he does have someone calling him daddy.
Oh my god.
Nick.
So I don't have anything coming up with my child because my husband and I are taking an adults-only vacation this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
So we leave on Friday night to San Juan to go on a Virgin Voyages cruise.
Nice. How
Very
long you gone
Can
for?
we come too?
Please.
And then can they also join you on the cruise?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it won't take that long for the first part to happen.
Oh my god.
Podcast end.
We're going on a 7-day cruise. We're doing Southern Caribbean this time. So we actually have a new destination that I haven't been to yet. We're going to Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Martin. So we got a lot of really awesome
Nice.
stops. I'm really excited.
Nice. And listen, if you're going to be booking a vacation, don't do what my wife did and book not through Sandpiper Vacations, because we learned our lesson, and we will never not book a vacation without using Sandpiper Vacations ever again. So make sure you reach out to www.sandpipervacations.com. Tell them that the Parents Night Out podcast sent you.
Yeah, and like I said, like it doesn't cost anything to use my services. So the issue that you guys had, unfortunately, was you had an introductory rate that I was not able to access, but now I have access to all those things for that resort. But yeah, we can book any resort out there, and I'm here to help you guys. So whenever your flights get delayed or canceled, which happens a lot, I will make sure you get out of there as soon as you can.
Awesome. Sarah, you got anything going on?
Nope. The kids have testing this week.
Ooh.
Does Abby have testing too?
Uh,
You wouldn't know.
testing.
Hey,
Not the-
Aaron, does
yeah.
Abby
Ask Sarah.
have testing this week? Yes, so they're going to be doing that. Does your child also procrastinate until the last minute to tell you about
Yes.
projects, and then
Yes.
especially the ones
All
that
of
you
them
have to
do.
go and
Yes.
buy stuff for? Okay, just wondering. So that's due tomorrow. also.
I need a poster board for a project that's due tomorrow.
No, we needed so much more than that. But of course, the sickness, the flu that's going around, also landed on the same weekend as the project being due.
My daughter
But
doesn't have any projects. It's weird.
they don't do that kind of stuff anymore. They don't
Yeah.
teach them things. They don't give them homework. They don't.
They
do
just yell
project-
at them.
I mean, what are they? I'm gonna start just homeschooling. I think, give them the important facts of life.
Right. Well, you know what Abby does is she waits until the last minute and says, "Hey, I need this permission slip signed and money. It's due tomorrow." So I have no opportunity to check her grades. Do I need to negotiate that? No, it's like you have to do it now. And so I get stuck.
We don't.
It's-
we don't have that problem.
You heard her say, "I don't negotiate with terrorists." She said, "Fine, I won't let you have to negotiate. I'll just hold the gun to your head."
Yeah, exactly. Chris, you got anything going on this week?
Today was state inspections for my company, which happens twice a year. And today, I brought my secret weapon with me, the baby. And we've never had a faster inspection. No failures.
Nice.
Everyone wanted to see her. It's the best. Having a baby is the best because you can do things like that. You go places, the attention's not on you, the attention's on her. And then the best part is when you're out, it's the perfect excuse to get out of a place early. We went out to dinner on Friday night, and it was getting a little late, like 9. And we're like, oh, we got to go home to relieve the babysitters. And we got out of there. I whispered to my friend's ear, whose wife is pregnant, I said, you'll be able to have an excuse soon, too. I cannot wait.
It's the best excuse.
Oh, it's great. No one ever questions it. It's the best. There's a bachelor party in Daytona. At the Daytona 500. It's going to cost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in August. It's like, I'm sorry, guys. Got to provide for Got to provide for my family. Yeah, it's the best.
Oh, just wait though. When she gets a little bit older, you're going to be like making excuses to go to Daytona.
Yeah, anybody
for
want to
that
go to
expensive
Daytona?
life.
He has excuses already. They
That's
can
true.
come down here and hang out with us in Daytona.
That is true.
That
we
is
can
true.
Hook you up with a
Stay.
sweet resort, good pizza, and I'll babysit. See how
Oh.
perfect that is?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I might have to
Well, Chris-
reconsider this. Might have to rejoin the group chat that I left for the back.
Chris will be in town in April, so I'm sure we're going to have a lot of stories
Absolutely.
about that. So next week and I'm sorry, Nick, you won't be here for it, but that's okay. You'll be here in spirit. We need to come up with the topic or the categories for the friendies because I was supposed to do that before I left. I didn't do that, and now the friendies are getting later and later every year. It's supposed to be February. Last year it was March. This year it's going to be April. So we've got to start coming up with that next week. So
It can be the same weekend as WrestleMania weekend. It can be like right after WrestleMania, the Monday after.
oh, I love that idea. It's like the Monday after WrestleMania. That's a good idea, Darren. Let's shoot for that. I like that.
Give Chris and I more time to procrastinate.
Go ahead, Sarah. You want to say something?
You can just let me know when that is because I am now going to be the only one who doesn't understand wrestling because I know that as soon as we log off, Nick's going to be watching YouTube.
My husband's not home, so It's just me and the rest of the night.
Darren, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Darren_Maffei, and then it'll link to all of my other socials, and whatever the Parents Night Out Twitter is called now. I don't know.
Alex? Nick?
You can find me on social media at Sandpiper Vacations. Follow along. I'm going to be doing some live streaming next week aboard a cruise ship. And you can find me on Instagram at Emotional Support Gay Nick.
Sarah?
You can find me on TikTok at SuperSarah94.
Chris?
Just follow us on TikTok at the parks.
Dot.
Dot.
No new friends.
No new friends. And our Instagram.
Hey,
Follow us on
edit that in.
Instagram, which is parents. I don't know actually. What's our Instagram?
I have no idea. You changed the name.
No, I changed the
That's
Twitter
Not
name.
Darren.com.
I think I changed the name. I don't remember.
Oh,
I
it's
don't know, but
Parents
all
Night
of
Out
our-
Pod. Parents Night Out Pod.
All of our links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. Just click on the logo of the social media. It'll take you right there, and then just follow us. Subscribe,
Thanks for letting
whatever.
me struggle through that. Just to
I don't know why you were talking about the podcast socials. I was asking about yours. I always do the podcast socials.
whatever. But I'm more active on there now. And
You are.
and you can
Yeah.
find me, but it's not as interesting.
No. Yes, Darren.
No, I'm just
Just
acknowledging my
acknowledging,
tribal
yeah.
chief.
Oh, okay. So check out our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. Check out our sweet merchandise. Join our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits. You can hear all of these wrestling walk-up music as I introduce them. You can hear the entire song. A lot of them are really, really funny and have great endings. Make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple and Spotify. That really helps us out. Check us out on the YouTube. We're live every single Monday night around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the evening. And then check us out on TikTok at theparks.nonewfriends. On behalf of Game Master Ryan, our producer Alex, the wise man Darren.com, Nick, Sarah, Chris, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
See you later, poopy bus.
Hey, YouTube, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We love each and every one of you. I think so.
Gracias.
I think I've vetted everybody. We love all of you guys. Yes. Guys, seriously, thank you guys so much.
For Alex, too.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you right here. Well, you'll see us right here. Next week, I got to delete this shirtless picture of Scott before I... All right. See you guys.